There is no failure. It just depends on how much harder you're willing to push. Oh no, this kid is great. He listens well. Very well behaved. Super smart kid. In fact, if there were anything I wish I could change about him, I wish he was a little crazier. I wish he went out and he would screw things up, spray paint a building, do something dumb. You know, that's where you learn. That's where you get, I don't exactly want a hooligan, but make a mistake. Go screw up. Be a troublemaker to some degree. It takes work. Don't give up with a half-baked idea. You can keep working on a half-baked idea, but eventually you're going to have to come to the end of it. You're going to have to figure out how to finish it. You can't leave it open on the end. But as long as you keep working on it, that's pretty much my advice for just about anything. Just keep working on it.
Good morning, Savannah. Welcome to the Savannah Business Showcase. I'm Terez, your host, and I'm here with Jonathan Clark. Many of you will know him as Bob of Bob's Gourmet Hot Dogs here in Savannah, Georgia. One of the first food trucks here in the city, downtown. Bob's Hot Dogs is a mobile food stand offering gourmet hot dogs, bratwurst, and pulled pork in the heart of Savannah's historic downtown. So, Bob, like the normal way that I start the shows now is I like to give you a little scenario just to kind of get you in the mindset of the show. So the purpose of the show is to like inspire entrepreneurs and motivate them to get out there and start something, or the people sitting on the sideline to get out there and start something for themselves. So here's the scenario. You're walking in your neighborhood. A little kid comes up to you and says, "Bob," they might call you Jonathan, who knows? But they'll probably say, "Bob, you're my hero. I want to be like you when I grow up." So
I feel bad for them.
So in language that a 10 to 12-year-old can understand, what does it take to be Bob?
Don't give up on things. There is no such thing as a dumb idea if it's something you want. So just keep fighting for it. And eventually someone's going to give, whether it's you or the people you're trying to put it in or trying to deal with there. Yeah. You can edit that part out.
No, you good. We don't do any edits, so you're good.
We're rough.
Awesome. Okay. All right, so tell us about yourself. Tell us the story of how you became Bob from Jonathan Clark, and we'll go from there.
I am horrible at remembering names. Absolutely awful. So all through high school, I just called everybody Bob, except for my one friend. I named her Eddie. But everybody was Bob, and there was one Eddie all through high school. So they all started calling me Bob.
Got you. Okay.
And Eddie still goes by Eddie.
Okay. Eddie's still Eddie. Cool. All right, so are you from Savannah?
No, I was a military brat.
Okay.
Mostly East Coast.
Okay.
Up and down the East Coast. And then when my dad retired, we came down to Atlanta and lived there.
Okay.
So brief stint as a homeless person on the West Coast. I realized I liked the ocean too much to stay in Atlanta when I came back.
Got you. So you came to Savannah.
Oh, yeah. Had to come to Savannah.
All right. Is your family still in Atlanta, or are they somewhere else?
Well, they gave me a hard time about moving so far away.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came to visit, and then they moved down here too.
Okay.
So they're just outside of town in Elabelle.
Okay. We kind of breezed over the homeless part. So like,
understood.
Let's how'd you become homeless in the West Coast? How'd you go from that to owning your own hot dog stand in Savannah?
Well, I had a nervous breakdown.
Okay.
I was one of those workaholics. Worked way too much. Got dumb, and I've probably made millions of dollars for other people. And I just finally broke and needed a reset.
Yeah.
So I, with my last $150, I bought a plane ticket to the Bob Hope Airport.
Okay.
Landed there and started walking towards the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I walked the majority of the West Coast. Met cousins I didn't know I had.
Really?
So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Stayed with them a little bit, hung out,
Yeah.
helped them move.
Nice.
And then my mom called me one day. She's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm in California." I was like, "What are you doing there?" I'm like, "Whatever."
Yeah. You came back.
Yeah. So then I made my way back here. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Definitely the reset that I needed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest it for everyone, but if you're big and ugly like me, then most people don't mess with you.
Yeah, everybody needs a reset though. So
Exactly.
I definitely get that. Yeah, I took one. I wasn't homeless. I felt homeless, but I wasn't homeless for like last year. At the end of last year, for about 6 months, I just stayed at home with my daughter and would just kind of reset on my own with her. It didn't work. Didn't think about working.
Oh no, that's good. Everybody needs that at some point.
Yeah, without a doubt. Awesome. So, how hard was it to start a food truck in Savannah?
on the verge of impossible. The I'm really good at the impossible, not so good at the improbable.
Yeah.
The my girlfriend gives me a hard time. She says the only reason I did it was because the city told me I wasn't allowed to. I walked in there one day and it was just kind of a whim. I'm like, hey, how much or what would it take me to start a hot dog cart downtown Savannah?
Mm-hmm.
And the lady just looked at me. She's like, you can't, not allowed.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, I'll be back. So I started running through all the stuff. There was a pro bono lawyer group that helped out a lot. A lot of good information from them. It's known as the Institute for Justice.
Okay.
And all they are is about pretty much fighting cities that are trying to remove your rights as a citizen. Because on private property, you can open a hot dog cart. You are always allowed to. You can open a food truck. You can sell lingerie there if you want. It's private property.
Got you.
That's like Wendy's buying a building and then saying, well, you're too close to another restaurant, so you can't open up. It's all private property. So these guys, they pretty much ran me through all the motions, told me what I needed to know, and helped me get started.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, you mentioned them when we first met, and I looked them up, and they're all over the nation, right?
Yep.
It's just not a Georgia thing. It's nationwide.
Yeah, they have they've opened up Virginia, parts of Texas, a lot of other cities to mobile food that were completely against the idea.
Awesome.
So it's like I said, you get a hold of private property, you get someone willing to let you do it, as long as you got your health department clearance and all of your proper paperwork as far as insurances. Then you can open up a food cart on any private property.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
It was difficult convincing the city of that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, especially because Savannah's like a touristy town, and people come here for the food. Oh, yeah. So I'm sure all these big restaurants were like pulling together, trying to get you out.
Oh yeah. There are a few names involved in the local food community that were the ones that originally shut the mobile food down. I think it disappeared about 12 to 15 years ago. I wasn't personally here. I can only go by from what I heard.
Gotcha.
But after they shut it down, nobody fought it. No, they just gave up. They disappeared. The only person that was still pushing it was the guy on Johnson Square. South end of Johnson Square.
Yeah. Yep, has a little hot dog stand too during the day, right?
Yeah. He also helped me out a lot too. He gave me a lot of good advice.
Awesome.
So he's a really cool guy.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go patronize him too.
He's only open 3 days a week. I don't know what days those are. I just know I very rarely see him. He does it as a retirement plan. He says it gets him out of his wife's hair.
That makes sense. Maybe I should do that. Okay, so the guy who introduced us was John McNulty. Also, I forget the name of his radio show. I'll patch it in somewhere. But anyway, he's on. I don't remember. Yeah, he's on the station too. But he's also a petty cabinet. That's how I met him. Also, and he's a cool guy. And he introduced me. He told me that you're kind of the reason that the food trucks are booming now here in Savannah.
I think I was the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of the food truck association in town have been fighting for a while to get mobile food permitted in the city of Savannah, but they were trying to follow Savannah's laws, which were rigged. I came in and followed state and federal laws and pretty much kind of stuck it to Savannah, and they weren't happy about that. But it got it through. Yeah. So
yeah, and it's good for the city. Yeah, competition is always
agree.
Good.
Unfortunately, we right now tourism's on a little bit of a slump, and mobile food got into town right as we were seeing some dwindling numbers. It'll come back, but a lot of people are disheartened. They finally got their food trucks out there, and they're not making what they would have 2 years ago or even 1 year ago.
Got you.
So
why hot dogs?
Why hot dogs? Super easy. Super easy. I get my stuff from a local meat market, butcher shop down off of 17, and everything's handmade. So they are a smoked black Angus beef hot dog. They better than any hot dog I've ever had. So I'm like, okay, because I was thinking about going Mexican food or anything. The sky's the limit on a food cart. So, and then I got a hold of these. I was impressed with the quality. So I'm like, I'm sticking with these.
They are really good. I lived in Chicago for a couple years. Everybody talks so much greatness about the Chicago dogs, and no ketchup, all that good stuff. But your stuff is actually really good.
Yeah, a lot of people come by. They're like, "You got a Chicago dog?" I'm like, "Are we in Chicago?"
I got a Savannah dog.
Exactly.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, because you put like pulled pork on your dogs and everything, man.
Pulled pork and a pineapple chutney.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm referring to as the Savannah dog.
Okay.
So that's if I can get that one to catch on.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it caught on with me. I liked it pretty good.
You got your New York dog, you got your Chicago dog, you got all the other stuff like that. Savannah needs its own hot dog.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
You know you've made it as a big city when you got your own hot dog.
That's true. That's true. I was trying to find you online. I was looking for Bob everywhere. I was like, what's Bob's last name? Come to find out, it's not that. So, but I did find I did find your Facebook page, of course. And one of the reviews, I'm gonna read it off. One of the reviews was pretty cool. It said, "For a wiener that stands out among the crowd, look no further than Bob. He's always happy to see you and never disappoints." So it's like, what? That's pretty. And there's several other reviews on it like that. So it's pretty funny. So like, what do you think you do differently that causes like people to write great reviews like that?
We're very unorthodox. We a lot of the businesses in town, they try to stick with super friendly, super kosher, super just whatever. We are we're a little odd. Mm-hmm. The more wiener jokes, the better. And it's after all the bars close down, a lot of people hang out at the parking lot just because we got a guy with a boombox. He just started hanging out one day and playing music. Okay. So a lot of people come over there and gather, eat hot dogs, finish off their drinks, act like idiots right there in the parking lot. I've had to chase a few people off that think it's a restroom. But other than that, it's actually really fun. It's the late night shindig.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. And it seems kind of perfect just for the late night crowd. You know, so that last little bite after the bars close.
Yep. One thing I do like is the fact that a lot of people will come over there, eat a hot dog, hang out for a while, and sober up before they try to drive home. Yeah. Yeah. So people that whenever I first started, I would watch a lot of people just drunk hop in their cars and take off. Mm-hmm. So now that they got something to do after their last drink, they can hang out for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That is a good little benefit.
Yeah, my goal with this whole thing, the hot dog cart is something I've wanted to do, but it's more of a stepping stone. I want to get into a lot of community-style projects. Right now, anybody that's low on funds, doesn't have enough money for food, or homeless people coming by, we feed them all. You just don't let anybody walk away hungry. Yeah, yeah. So I plan on eventually getting a hold of a kitchen and moving on in that direction. Okay. Because I don't know if you were familiar with the Starfish Cafe.
I have not been there. I'm familiar.
Yeah, they've been closed down for a while. They've got some plumbing issues and so forth, and they need a lot of money to get that fixed. I think it was like $500,000. But they used to have a kitchen that taught people at the mission how to cook, how to operate. So the mission over there towards Fawn Street. They had that program, that kitchen, so that when people were coming in there, they had the work program, teach them how to operate in a kitchen. Then they would move out of that program after a few weeks of learning how to operate a kitchen and find work throughout Savannah. Savannah's nothing but kitchens. So they had a skill set at that point that is applicable to the local community.
Right, that's true.
So if I can, I'd like to open something similar. Or if I can help them get that one back up and running again, that would also be really good.
Gotcha. If you did another restaurant, what would you do? Would you stick to hot dogs, or what would you do?
I'd probably keep it with easily mobile foods, hot dogs, hamburgers, Philly cheesesteaks, sandwiches, and then random little fried things that I haven't decided yet. We haven't gotten crazy on the idea of a deep fryer because we don't have one.
Got you. Okay.
So we like to keep things a little crazy.
Yeah.
Normal's normal.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. You guys definitely have that a crazy feel to you. Like when you walk by, it's the hipster crowd.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt.
We enjoy that.
Yeah,
it's a lot more fun that way.
Yeah, I think so too. I enjoyed it. Just coming, and you guys look out for pedicabbers, so that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I mean they're we all live on the streets.
That's true. That's true. I
used to be a pedicabber as well.
Oh, did you?
And all the pedicabbers are literally on the verge of homelessness at all times.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
That sounds about right. So like, what's the hardest part about owning your own food stand?
Finding dependable workers. that gets a little rough sometimes. Because I'm trying to expand, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding people I trust to handle the money and be able to cook the food.
Yeah.
Because I can find people that can handle the money and, take cash, make change, talk to people. I'm looking for more outgoing, forward people as well.
Right.
And most people that are outgoing, forward people that can handle that kind of a workload and handle that much money are already making more money than I can offer them working at bars. So.
Yeah, it seems to be like it's probably like two different sides of your brain at the same. Like it'd be just a separate personality.
Yep.
It's going to be hard to find that in one person. Anyway.
Yeah, you got to be able to engage the brain and the hands at the same time. Which I, for one, have a problem with that myself. So I understand.
Yeah, but of course you make it work.
But sometimes.
Do you do anything else?
Well, we run the parking lot right now. I eventually hope to have enough free time and enough money to get back into my hobbies, but I think that's going to be a little ways away.
What are your hobbies?
Well, I like working on cars, and I also do blacksmithing and wood carving.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I'm an idiot. So.
No, that's really cool. Like, how did you get into blacksmithing?
Something I found fascinating. I love working on. I used to be a mechanic. I love anything mechanical, anything I can do with my hands.
Okay.
But the blacksmithing was, there were some things I needed that I couldn't buy. So I learned how to make a foundry.
Okay.
So I could melt metal and cast things.
Wow.
And I made it with kitty litter.
Really?
So it ran off of used vegetable oil, and it was made out of kitty litter. And it worked well.
That's crazy.
You could cast copper, aluminum, and if you wanted to shorten the life on the thing, you could probably get into, like, iron. But other than that, it was, I did that, and I'm like, just a little modification. I can start using it as a blacksmith forge.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I started making knives.
Okay.
One of the simplest things, but also very, very not so simple.
Yeah, I follow a couple Instagram accounts of guys who do that. They can make some beautiful things.
Oh yeah, I wanted to work with the owner of Pedicab. You familiar with Rusty? Yeah, Rusty also makes the oyster knife.
Really?
He is a local blacksmith.
Okay.
So he, what is it, the Savannah oyster knife?
Yeah,
that's his.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. That makes sense now because he has the ads on the pedicabs. Okay,
Yep, he doesn't have to pay for that ad space.
Of course not. Yeah, brilliant. That makes a lot of sense now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I wanted to get him on the show, but he hasn't. We haven't been able to set a time yet. But
gotcha.
Yeah, cool, man.
He's also a person that's helped out the local community a lot. He has taken a lot of kids that don't know what to do with themselves and have no direction in life, and taught them to work for themselves and at least shoot for something.
Yeah.
So he's been a good influence on Savannah.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. And I'm always like just amazed at like why the pedicab office is right next to a homeless shelter. And I'm always amazed at like why don't more of the men and women at the homeless shelter just do a pedicab? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, I do appreciate that shelter for what they do, but they are not a dry shelter. Everybody over there is usually on something.
Gotcha.
And to be able to operate pedicabs, you need to have a current license, be able to pass a criminal background check.
That's true.
And a 7-year motor vehicle record.
That's true.
And for you to do that, right now, pedicab is actually, well, I don't know compared to mobile food, but pedicab is considered one of the most regulated businesses in all of Savannah.
Yeah, I saw that article too.
Yeah, they're cracking down on pedicab for almost no reason.
Right, definitely no reason. Yeah, no reason.
There's a lot of stuff that's been taken away. Pedicabs are not allowed on River Street. They're not allowed on Bay, Whitaker, or Drayton, which I can completely agree with Whitaker and Drayton.
Right.
It gets stupid down there.
Right.
But one thing about pedicabbers, you get a good seasoned pedicabber, and they can get themselves through any kind of traffic.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. Unfortunately, you can't always keep the new ones out of those areas.
Unfortunately, I got a ticket. Terrible. Yeah, I was dropping off it was a guy, he was disabled a little bit. He could barely get in the car, he could barely walk. So I crossed over Drayton, into the little Forsyth parking lot to drop him off at Forsyth on what is it? The Mansion on Forsyth.
Yeah.
That hotel. Just to drop him off right there, and I got a ticket for doing the little U-turn through the parking lot.
That property is actually regulated by the mansion, and they are not permitted to give you a ticket there.
I got one. I wish I would have had you there with me to I should have called the the pro bono attorneys to look out for me. But yeah. So that was how much? It was like 150.
Yeah, the Institute for Justice is actually very interested in coming down here and taking care of that, but I am not involved in the pedicab anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they're waiting for word from somebody involved with it, one of the managers, one of the owners,
Got you.
to get involved. And without them saying, "Hey, come down here and take care of this," they're not going to do it.
Yeah. Kind of so you told me about your goals, like you want to get into owning a restaurant. Like, have you ever thought about like expanding and doing multiple food trucks?
Oh, I'd love to. Right now, I've got the one down here in City Market. I just picked up the Home Depot on Victory Street.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, we're we're attempting to run 7 days a week as my stock permits.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my commissary. I don't have too much storage here. Their kitchen's not that big, and they're actually fairly busy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have too much space to store stuff.
Got you.
So I run out of stock usually Saturday nights,
Mm-hmm.
and then my meat market, the butcher shop I go to, isn't open until Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, so I'm usually forced to take 2 or 3 days a week off.
Off anyway.
Yeah, which I don't want to, but I'm sure right now I'm down to 2 operators for the hot dog cart, me and one of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So between the two of us, it's not bad to have 2 or 3 days off.
True. Yeah. That way you don't get burned out as fast.
Exactly, because if I had my way, we'd run 7 days a week and then double up on Saturdays.
Yeah. And then you need to reset again.
Exactly. Like I said, that workaholic is always in the back of my mind, but then my common sense is saying, no, don't do it.
Right. Right. Yeah, just take it easy. You could, honestly, you could probably raise the prices a little bit. You ever thought about that? Or you just want to keep it affordable for everybody?
No, right now I love the $5.
Okay.
For a hot dog, no matter what you get on it, it's always $5.
Okay.
It makes change simple for me, makes things simple for the customer. It's just like, hey, $5.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still complain about the $5.
Really?
Yep, a lot of them do.
Okay.
So
that's weird. I mean, but you get like a side with it, right? What else comes with it?
Whatever you can throw on the hot dog.
Okay, got you.
It's $5 no matter what you put on it. We got our chili, we got the pulled pork, we got the pineapple chutney. We throw sauerkraut, coleslaw,
Mm-hmm.
all the other fun stuff. I've even been playing with a candied bacon.
Okay.
So a shredded candied bacon. And eventually I want to get the pizza dog out there, but I have to upgrade my health department clearance.
What's a pizza dog?
Oh, it's insanely good. So good. It was actually inspired by there was a bar up in Powder Springs that I used to frequent.
Okay.
And the guy there, he was just an old dude. Used to make some of the weirdest bar food.
Yeah.
And he had the pizza dog that he'd bring out there. I'm working with a little bit better quality stuff, but he just went with the cheap old Italian sausage and threw the stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever we got a hold of that, we started working with deli cut this and meat market stuff, and then the bread that comes from Durst's Bakery around the corner.
Mm.
So we started working with that, and the quality of the product just completely changes it.
What do you put on it?
Well, I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not a big deal. I don't mind. Most of our stuff is tourism anyway.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a secret. You don't have to tell a secret to Curious.
If you watch, you can see what happens.
Okay.
So, like I said, once we get the clearance done on the cart and we can start doing this, what I want to do is I want to start carrying mozzarella cheese on the cart. And that's my problem. That's what I need to get cleared for.
Yeah.
But we take a deli cut shredded pepperoni. We'll throw it on the flat top until the oils start coming out. So whenever it gets good and hot, we'll throw the cheese on top of that and fry the cheese in the pepperoni oil. And then we have a specifically spiced marinara that we'll put on top of that, so it all goes on the hot dog.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
That sounds amazing. Let me know when you guys bring it out.
Yeah, it's pretty much a fried cheese pizza dog, but it's the best parts of the mozzarella stick and pizza and a hot dog and all rolled into one.
Mm-hmm. Like a pizza roll.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Just really good.
Yeah, really good. Not a depression.
Exactly. It's not one of those, I'm starving and can't afford ramen noodles.
Right, yeah. Nobody called me tonight, so I'm just going to eat a bag of pizza rolls. Yeah, okay.
I've had that problem. Yeah.
I was just joking.
Speaking of different dietary things, we also used to. We do have gluten-free options. I myself am a celiac,
Okay.
so that makes it a little difficult. We'll carry corn tortillas on the cart, and I'll just make like a almost like a hot dog taco
Okay.
or a hot dog burrito, whatever. It's pretty good. But then for a while there, I was making some vegan and vegetarian options, but nobody ever bought them.
Really?
Nobody ever bought them. And then
Well,
once a month, I'll have a vegan or a vegetarian come by and like, you need to carry this. I'm like, you'd be the only one that bought it.
right.
This entire month, I'd stock it all month for you to come by and buy one.
Right.
And that's kind of a loss of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're catering to people who have had like 3 or 4 drinks.
Oh, if
you know
not
what I
more.
mean? So
If
they're
not
not gonna
more.
want anything vegan at that
Yeah,
point.
We're positioned diagonally from the intersection of Treehouse,
That's
so most people do not come out of that bar able to walk right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, they're not looking for anything vegan. Even the vegans aren't looking for anything vegan. They want
Yeah.
something greasy.
I've had a few vegetarians that came by and grabbed a hot dog.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. So from the time you started to now, like, how have you seen like the food truck scene change? Like, what's been the progression that you've noticed?
For a while there was me and another pedicabber. He actually got his cart to go along as well. He was working with Brighter Day down south of Forsyth.
Okay.
And he had all the high-end sandwiches and the coffee and stuff like that. One thing I've noticed is a lot of people don't want the gourmet options.
Mm.
A lot of people want just dirty water dogs. But as far as the food trucks getting into town, I don't think they're seeing the numbers they want. But they're also rather overpriced.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I don't know. Things since we got it started, it's still relatively new. It's still very immature in the phases of everything. So it's stagnant at the moment.
Got you.
The city was against the idea of getting food trucks in town.
Mm-hmm.
Since I found the loopholes and kind of broke my way through, the best way for them to take control of the situation is exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed it, but regulated it.
Mm-hmm.
So now they kind of got their foot on it again,
Got
but
you.
to a small degree.
Got you.
So, like I said, everything's a little stagnant at the moment. Whenever Savannah gets involved in business, it tends to run into problems.
Got you. Got you. Okay. All right. I won't share this with any of these city officials there.
Understood. Understood.
I was just joking, man.
Oh, well.
What?
You can share it. They know how I feel. Now, there are a few people
Yeah.
that they completely deserve a shout out, like Susan Broker.
Okay.
She's involved in a lot of the stuff going on. She's been climbing the ranks due to her capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
She's not one of those people that just, rides the wave. She is legitimately working her way up because she is absolutely awesome.
Mm.
And she's been a big help. She's been fighting for the food trucks as well from the get-go.
Awesome.
And now she's in charge of, say, festivals and the squares and all the stuff going on. She
Okay.
got that about a year ago, I think. I'm not quite too sure of the date. But
Okay. So
yeah.
the future's looking bright.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
she's absolutely awesome. I'm looking forward to what she's going to do.
Awesome.
But then the people that aren't that high
Mm-hmm.
in the pecking order there that run the little permitting and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes are a little rough to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. that's usually how it works.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything, we're gonna take a break in a second. Anything that we missed you want to mention about the food truck or about being a food truck owner or a business owner?
No, it's pretty much straightforward. I mean, getting it started is pretty. It's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of things you got to jump through, but they let you know what they are. Whether they're hard to get a hold of or not is the issue.
Got you.
My favorite part was whenever with the food cart.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally about the size of a lawnmower.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted me to go to the fire marshal and have it inspected. I pull up there with the hot dog cart in the back of my truck, And I talked to the fire marshal. He's like, all right, let's take a look at this. He walks out. He looks at the cart. He's like, it's not a food truck. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just a cart. He's like, so it's like a propane grill that you'd use in your backyard. I'm like, almost exactly. He's like, we rate for occupancy. We look for fire exits and fire suppression systems. I'm like, yes, I know. He's like, there is no way to inspect this. We don't have forms for it or anything. He's like, this makes no sense. So I'm like, all right. He's like, do you have a deep fryer? No. He's like, then you don't even need a fire suppression system. He's like, you need a fire extinguisher, K-rated, like grease fires and so forth, fire extinguisher. And he's like, and you're good. Yeah. I'm like, so my fire suppression system can literally be a drunk homeless person standing next to the cart at all times with a fire extinguisher. He's like, yeah, that's fine. So he's like, you're good to go.
Yeah. So it's just all the loopholes that
all the
loopholes. Got you.
All the little things. Some of it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Then some of it makes a lot of sense, and it's also hard to get a hold of.
Got you. Okay. All right, cool. Well, Bob, thank you. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with the lightning round.
All right. All right. I look forward to it.
Yeah. Once again, everybody out here, what's the best way for people to find you?
Honestly, you just get on Google search and type in Bob's Gourmet Hot Dogs. No apostrophes, no spaces, no anything. And I'll pop up. You'll get my Yelp, my TripAdvisor, my Facebook page, and you'll probably find me on the Google Maps.
Got you. So. Cool. All right. Well, once again, everybody, we're here with Bob. We're here with Jonathan Clark of Bob's Gourmet Hot Dogs. And just like you said, you can find him on Facebook, TripAdvisor, and just anywhere on Google. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be right back in just 1 second, so don't go anywhere. All right, Savannah, we're back again with Bob's Gourmet Hot Dogs. Jonathan Clark, the owner. We're going to put him through the lightning round. Are you ready?
I hope so.
All right. What did you want to be as a kid, and how does that relate to your current business?
I don't remember this one, but apparently my parents said that while I was growing up, I claimed I wanted to be a parade.
Okay. Just the whole parade. Okay.
No, just the whole parade.
Okay.
Now, I'm not big about being in public view. I don't like being the look at me guy, but I do enjoy interacting with people.
Yeah.
So, I guess in kind of a sense, I'm still working on being the parade.
Okay. Okay. All right. How have you approached failure in life?
There is no failure. It just depends on how much harder you're willing to push.
What did you do before?
Oh, that's a long list of things. I've worked construction. I've done millworks. I was a welder. Did flooring installation. I worked in the medical field, albeit only as an NCA, but still there.
Yeah.
I worked in psych wards at nursing homes. That was fun. Got some strange stories about that one.
I bet.
And I picked up every odd job you can think of.
Okay.
I used to do scrap medaling. Did pretty well as a scrap medaler before other people found out you can make money as a scrap medaler.
Yeah. Who influenced you early in life, and who's your mentor now?
Early influences. Well, honestly, everybody is going to claim it, but it's the truth. My father is one of the smartest people I know. May not be the most driven, but definitely a very intelligent individual. So I've always looked up to intellect. And then my uncle, who is absolutely crazy. So, yeah, in the best of ways.
Yeah.
But he's nuts. So I have a son. He's named after my uncle.
Okay.
So that's definitely uncle's a big influence.
Nice. Nice. What are you going to teach your kids about entrepreneurship?
I hope to lead by example. I'm not going to point out anything. Let him take whatever he wants from the situation. He's going to realize it is a lot of work. Also a lot of mental stress. But hopefully he also realizes that it's better than making millions for someone else.
Yeah.
I'd rather make $10 for myself than make $100 for someone else.
I agree. Tell me a story about a failure.
A failure? Or
maybe not a failure, because there is no failure, but you know what I mean?
There's There are things that are borderline, but for the most part, I see them as a redirection. They're a detour.
Mm-hmm.
They change the flow of things, the direction you're going.
Just
So
the
it's
slack.
like,
Yeah.
It's like most recently there was I was shooting for a place downtown,
Mm-hmm.
Congress Market. It's right there off of Congress Street, next to the Turf Store. I was trying to get a hold of that, and we were well on the way to getting it. I had a money guy. He kind of disappeared on me.
Mm.
Really good guy. He's a good friend of mine, but I've been warned that sometimes he'll just kind of ghost.
Got you.
Well, he did that right before we signed the papers on it, so I almost had my own kitchen and the whole deal.
Mm.
But whenever he did that, everything fell through in that aspect. But it led me to find something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one thing I've noticed. If a lot of people, when they run into the problem like that, they'll look at that as a failure, and they'll recess, they'll hide, they'll get depressed, they'll be upset.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, that's like, all right, what did I do that I can avoid next time? And there are other options.
Okay.
So you go out and you look for those other options. You change what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it from a different angle.
So what advice would you have for an entrepreneur who was going to be in that same situation?
Don't focus on one target. Aim for multiple targets that you like, and hopefully one of them will stick.
Do you remember your first customer?
It was actually my very first location was on not Hunter. It was on Fort Stewart.
Okay, yeah. I stay in Richmond Hill, right down the way. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I cannot remember it. I remember he loved root beer, though. So
Okay.
we didn't have any root beer on the cart. So
Okay.
after that, I started picking up one of my personal favorite root beers, which is Dad's. You can buy it at Big Lots.
Okay.
So I started picking up those, and they come in the 1 liter bottles.
Mhm.
So ever since then, I just grab one of those every day on my way out to Fort Stewart, throw it in the cooler.
Yeah.
And whenever he'd show up, I just hand him a root beer. I'm like, there you go. But that was my first customer.
Awesome. Okay. What have you had to sacrifice in order to start your business?
Free time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of free time. I like free time.
What's one thing in your business that drains you of energy, and what's one thing that excites you?
The work kind of drains me of energy. Also, a lot of the, just putting up with the little nitty gritty. Because
Mhm.
there's a lot of stuff that seems like fun. It's like standing out there in the crowd when you got the line and you're just freaking slinging hot dogs, just yucking it up with people. It is
Right.
great. It is super fun. And then when someone absolutely loves your hot dogs,
Mm-hmm.
then that gives me energy. That is awesome. But when you're sitting there, 4 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
after you close up, washing all of the dishes, that's rough.
Yeah, I bet. Oh man, yeah, the sun's coming up, about to
Yep.
start coming up. Yeah. What's something you consume religiously? Could be a blog, TV show, podcast, YouTube channel.
I like video games.
Okay. What game are you playing now?
Right now I'm playing Ark.
Okay.
Have you seen that one?
No, not yet.
It's you ever play Minecraft?
I've seen it played.
Okay, so it's basically kind of a Minecraft but modern graphics and the whole deal.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you can't dig holes. I like the digging holes in Minecraft. But it's like Minecraft with dinosaurs. You can tame dinosaurs. You can use them for different things. You can fly
wow.
around the map on pterodactyls. And,
Okay.
But then you also have like higher technology that you can make. Like you can make C4 and blow up someone's stone hut.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So it's kind of like the Flintstones mixed with Call of Duty.
The modern Call of Duty.
Okay.
The modern warfare. No, maybe not the modern warfare, but like the futuristic stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's strange because you start out with your like stone pickaxe and you can get all the way to like some sort of like high tech gloves that destroy everything you punch.
Art.
So
Okay, I'm about to check it out. Is that on? It's on all the platforms.
yeah, it's PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Got it. All right, I'm check it out. What's something people don't know about you?
A lot of people are surprised when they find out I have a kid that's almost my size. So, I have a 15-year-old son that stands about 6 foot, 6'1".
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely as weird as his dad, which I see as a blessing,
Yeah.
but also a bad thing because he's probably gonna make the same stupid mistakes I did.
Nah, he won't, man. He'll make his own stupid mistakes.
Exactly. But, they're probably going to be along the same line. I'm looking forward to him learning about life, but I'm also worried about how he takes it.
Yeah.
But he's as lighthearted as I am, so
Got you.
I don't think it's going to get him down.
Got you. That's good. And that's the beautiful thing about being a dad is you're there for him to help guide him just even a little bit.
Exactly.
At that age, I'm assuming they don't listen to you as much as they used to.
Oh no, this kid is great. He listens well.
Awesome.
Very well behaved.
Okay.
Super smart kid.
Okay.
In fact, if there were anything I wish I could change about him, I wish he was a little crazier.
Really?
I
Okay.
wish he went out and he would screw things up, spray paint a building, do something dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you learn. That's where you get. I don't exactly want a hooligan, but
Right. Yeah.
make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go screw up. Be a troublemaker to some degree.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice for everybody, just a little bit.
Yeah. Exactly. You got to cut loose on something.
Mm-hmm. What did you do growing up that got you into trouble?
Everything. Everything. Heck, I lived in the country, though, like way out in the woods. My parents had 10 acres of land that backed up to hundreds of acres of land. And so I was out there cutting down trees, making tree houses, building forts. I dug a hole that I could probably fit about 8 pickup trucks in.
Really?
Just one summer. I was homeschooled.
Gotcha.
So I didn't interact with anybody. I just stayed at home. I had like 3 friends on the street.
Yeah.
And we just did dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So much stuff.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense why you like to weld and stuff now because you've
Exactly.
been doing it your whole life, just tinkering.
Yeah, improvising. And
Yeah.
even if I did have the money to buy new stuff, we didn't have anywhere close by that I could buy new things. So I learned to fix everything.
Being a chef, when was the last time you had an amazing meal?
Self-made or anywhere else?
Whatever you want to do.
Honestly, my most favorite kitchen in town is Chabella's.
Okay.
Have you been there?
Not yet. I know it's right next to the pedicab
Go
place.
there
so.
for date night.
Okay.
It is farm to table. They have some of the most amazing stuff I have ever had. They don't even have a freezer there. They literally they'll go to the farm. They'll buy stuff today. They'll start cooking it for tonight. And they have got this jelly that they make with honey and smoked tomatoes. And it is so good. Everything there. Even, heck, my girlfriend she had dreams about the place for months after we went there.
Really?
We need to go back. But yeah, that is my most favorite place to eat in town.
Okay.
So.
I will check it out. It's on the list. Okay, so a few more. We'll breeze through these. What's your favorite book?
Favorite book? Multiple books or just like because there's a series that I love.
Okay,
It is,
what's that?
By Pierce Anthony. It's Xanth. It's extraordinarily comical.
Okay, how do you spell that?
Xanth.
Okay.
But it's very comical, very puns taken literally type world.
Okay.
Now I hate to say this, and a lot of people hate me when I tell them this, but a lot of stuff that you see in Harry Potter is taken from Xanth.
Really?
Yes. In fact, there's a huge fan site for Xanth that all they do is complain about Harry Potter. There was even a part in the Xanth novel where they were flying an invisible RV through the air, and then they crash landed into an aggressive willow tree that tried to kill them.
Okay. All right. Sounds familiar.
Yep.
All right. So in business, there's a concept called in everything, but Pareto's principle, 80-20 rule. 20% of the actions you take equal 80% of the results.
Yeah.
So in your business, what are the small amount of actions you take that get you the most results?
Honestly, the best thing I can say is outgoing. If you're just a little quiet hot dog cart sitting in the corner, not saying anything, people are going to walk by. Because right now, competition is fierce in Savannah anyway. Because the general rule in mobile food is you get about 10% of the walk by. In Savannah, you might get about 5.
Wow.
Because people are coming out and they're looking to sit down with the family. They're looking to grab a beer and a hamburger and maybe some French fries. They want to sit around the table with chairs, maybe AC, or someplace they can watch a football game. None of that on the around the cart.
Got you.
I mean, you can stand around drunk and act like a fool in the parking lot. That's all right. But if you want to sit down in AC, you're not going to get it there. And Savannah's a very warm place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you have to draw the crowd. You have to be something that people notice. And not only that, I'll toast a lot of the hot dog buns, cook a lot of things in a clarified garlic butter. The smell travels forever. So that's one of my favorite things, is you put that out there. Even whenever there's a lot of foot traffic and there's nobody coming by the cart, I'll just put some of that on the flat top.
Yeah. Okay.
And the
And
smell
it helps.
just starts traveling.
Yeah.
And that brings people in. They're like, oh, that smells amazing. Nice.
I didn't notice. I'm glad you found us. Do you feel that your business is your life's calling?
No, but it's the beginning. I think my life's calling is to be a slacker. But you can't be a slacker when you're broke.
That's true, right? the ultimate catch-22, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
From a young age, I always knew I wanted to be a beach bum. So while I was in California, I witnessed it and I loved it.
Yeah.
But I also saw a lot of the older guys that found the same calling earlier on. They're 70 now, pushing a grocery cart full of all their earthly possessions and can hardly walk. And I'm like,
it's not. No.
I don't want to be that guy. I don't mind being me now.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy at 70.
Right.
So.
I get that. Yeah, it's kind of something I talked to my wife about a little bit. I feel I think it's, you have, in my head, it's like two ideal situations to live your life. It's either you're going to be like one of the richest people in the world, or you're going to be just a wino or a beach bum.
Yeah.
You know, it's like either or. Like being in the middle is just so much stress. You know, like you just either got to strive for the best or just go with what you got. Go with what you got. You know.
Giving up is never an option, though. If you're going to be a beach bum, be the best friggin' beach bum.
Right. Enjoy it. Love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's either you're living for later or you're living for now. But you got to live for something.
That's true. Is there a quote that's always been a mantra that you live by?
I don't think I have one.
Okay.
I really don't.
Fair enough. Do you consider yourself an introvert or extrovert?
Oh, I'm an introvert.
Okay.
Yeah, my girlfriend likes the sunshine and windows and books and flowers and grassy fields and the whole deal. And she would, come home from work and I'm sitting there reading a book in a dark room, all the curtains drawn. She's like, this is awful. How can you live like this? I'm like, I don't think you understand. Me being by myself in this dark room with no one but myself is almost as satisfying for me as cuddling puppies. It is just, you get that warm, fuzzy feeling. It's like, this is nice.
Yeah. I'm the same way a lot of times. I don't get that option as much, though.
Exactly.
Because, with two kids and
the harder it is to get, the more satisfying it is when you find it.
That's true. That's true. Have you ever tried a sensory deprivation tank?
Oh, yeah. No, I love those.
Okay.
Absolutely love them.
Okay. I got to try one with that. I'm going to have to check it out. I have a friend who did. I know there's one here in Savannah. I have a friend who recently did it. He told me how great it was. So I'm going to check it out. I might try and interview them. Maybe I'll do that. 3 more. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Any time and place or just any place?
Any place. Right now.
Right now. I'd probably want to shoot for New Zealand.
Okay. That's crazy. A lot of people say New Zealand.
Yeah, well, I think we have a glorified view of New Zealand. It's romanticized, especially since Lord of the Rings came out.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
But everybody looks at sheep and grassy fields and almost kind of a Wild West mentality.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it is like that. But if that is the case, then that would be awesome. Or I would have liked to have been in Savannah 30 years ago.
Okay.
Which, from what I hear, things were a little rough at the time. But it was an open book. You could do stuff. You could still get somewhere here.
Yeah.
Without the fight, without the struggle, without the bureaucratic.
Got you. Okay. You have on a Deadpool T-shirt, riding a unicorn, shooting out taco and burrito rockets. So, if you had a superpower or ability, what would you choose and why?
I like the Hulk.
Mm.
Anything to emulate the Hulk, or even just Samson. I like Samson too.
Okay.
Long green hair. I used to have long green hair.
Really?
So
Okay. So the Hulk. All right. You would just anytime you got angry.
No, not necessarily angry. I mean, the modern Hulk is actually like not the rage monster he used to be.
That's true.
But
That's true.
I like the super strength, and he's also an introvert.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Just wants to be by himself.
exactly.
Last question. Advice for entrepreneurial kids and their parents.
It takes work. Don't give up with a half-baked idea.
Mm.
I mean, you can keep working on a half-baked idea, but eventually you're going to have to come to the end of it. You're going to have to figure out how to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't leave it open on the end. But as long as you keep working on it, that's pretty much my advice for just about anything.
Mm.
Just keep working on it.
I like that a lot. Actually, I like that a lot. Okay. All right. Thank you, Bob,
Thank you.
for being on the show. I really appreciate it. It's a great show.
Oh, well, thank you. I was not quite sure what to expect. Never been interviewed or,
Yeah.
just talked to many people on a one-on-one.
Yeah. Well, it's just me, so I mean, it was just a conversation. What'd you think? How do you feel?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Enjoyed it. A lot of good questions. A lot of things I haven't actually thought about before.
Good.
So
Good. I'm glad I could help you too. So I'm looking forward to putting this out there. I'm looking forward to sharing your business
no, well, thank you.
because you do a good job. All right. So thank you, Bob, and thank you to everybody out there listening. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I love you guys. Continue to be impactful. Continue to do positive things in the world, and you'll get somewhere. All right. Talk to you guys next time.